Hey everyone, today we're going to be going over lesson 4.1, understand the likelihood and probability. I can describe the likelihood that an event will occur. So let's get to it. We start with our warm-up. It says, for a game show, Jared must choose one of 8 boxes to win a prize. One of the boxes has a big prize, 3 of the boxes has a medium prize, and 3 of the boxes has a smaller prize, and 1 box is empty. How confident should Jared be in whatever box he chooses he will win a prize? Support your response with a mathematical argument. So I want you guys to pause the video and take a chance and try to see if you can figure out. Welcome back. So let's go over what you think. So how many total outcomes are there? So there's 8 total options, right? Because there are 8 boxes. So 8 options. And of those 8 options, 3, 6, 7, oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. 3, 6, 7 have prizes. So 7 winners, I'll say. So that means we have a 7 out of 8 chance of winning. Because of this, there's it in there. Because of this, I would feel pretty confident because most of the boxes are filled. So I would be, it's really likely that you're going to win a prize. So he should feel very confident. All right, and that's the answer to that one. Let's move on to example 1. Alyssa and Sherry spin the pointer to the right and record the color that it lands on. The table shows their results after 100 spins. How can Alyssa and Sherry explain their results? So over here, we have a table that says what they got. So for red, they got 23. For yellow, they got 24. For green, they got 27. For blue, they got 26. And what do we notice about that? Well, they're all pretty close in numbers. So we're going to say pretty close. And we're going to figure out why in just a second. So over here, we have blue, red, green, and yellow. They're all the exact same size. So what are the possible results? You could land on blue, you could land on green, you could land on yellow, or you can land on red. Those are the 4 options. You can land on blue, you can land on green, you can land on yellow, or you can land on red. So we need to define some things. Let's start with outcome. Outcome is the result of an action. You do something and then you have a result. The result of an action. Probability is the likelihood an event will occur. It is measured with a number between 0 and 1. And if you need to pause to copy this down, that's perfectly okay. So we're going to move on to the probability of a pointer landing on any given color from that 4 colors we had on that spinner. So you want the favorable, what you want to happen here, versus the number of outcomes here. So our favorable is you're going to get 1 out of the 4. So you're going to say 1 out of the 4. Well, we can turn that into a fraction by putting our favorable on top and our total outcomes on bottom, which leads to our percent, which would be 1 out of 4, which means you take 1 divided by 4, and that'll give you your decimal of 0.25, 1 divided by 4, and then that will multiply by 100, gives you your percent of 25%. So when it says the pointer should land on each color about 1 out of 4 times, or if you're going to do 100 spins, that means it should be 25 out of 100. Because remember that percent just means out of 100, how many will there be? There'll be 25. So now, let's answer these questions. I'm sorry I didn't give them a little more space. I kind of just had it printed. So Carrie will roll a number cube that has sides 1 through 6. So what is the probability that she will roll a 2? Now, we're going to talk about not only what the probability is, but what the likelihood is. And that will be either it is certain, which means it's going to happen. It is likely, which means it's probably going to happen. It's 50-50, which means you have equal chance of it happening and not happening. And it's unlikely, which means it's probably not going to happen, but it could. And then it is impossible, which means it's never going to happen. So what is the probability of her rolling a 2? Well, if we look at it, we have out of 6 options, there's only 1 2 out of 6. Well, that's 1/6. That's not, it's not very likely. So we're going to put unlikely. Then what is the probability if she will roll a less than a 7? Well, all of them are less than 7. So we have 6 out of 6 or certain. Then you have what is the probability if she will roll a number greater than 6? Well, none of them are greater than 6. So then we will say this is impossible. Now I want you guys to try it on your own, and then I will put the answers on here for you guys to check. So as you see, for this first one, we got 1 out of 12 because there's only 111 out of 12 options. And so that would make it pretty unlikely that you would get it. It's not impossible, but unlikely. This one we got 7 out of 12. That's a lot out of 12. So it's pretty likely that you'll get roll a number greater than 5. And then we rolling a number greater than 12. Well, none of them are 12, so it's 0 out of 12, which means I'm so sorry I wrote down the wrong thing. Not unlikely. It is impossible. All right, guys, let's move on to the next one. Marisol designed a spinner for a game. The spinner is fair if there is an equal chance for the pointer to land on each letter. Is the spinner a fair spinner? So let's go look at what we got. On our spinner, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different options. So we're going to put 6 on the bottom of our fraction. And we're going to say for D, there's 1 out of 6. For C, there's 1 out of 6. For E, there is 1 out of 6, because there's only 1 E, there's 1 D, there's 1 C, and for B, it's 1 out of 6. But as you can see, there are 2 A's. So for A, it's actually 2 out of 6, and if we were to reduce that, you remember that just means what can we divide both of them by? We can divide both of them by 2, which gives us 1/3, which means there is a better chance of getting an A than there is of an A, if then there is of a B, a D, a C, or an E, which means then that it is not a fair spinner. And again, that is because A has a better chance than all the other letters of winning. So that's the last example, guys. Go ahead and try to do your Math Excel. I'll see you again later. Bye, guys.